welcome to Tabletop Gaming. We are at AireCon. Hi and welcome to Tabletop Gaming. My name is Charlie and we are the home of the Tabletop Gaming Magazine, which you can check out. That is a monthly publication that can come straight through your door, or you can grab it digitally for all cool things tabletop gaming. Now, as you can tell from the title, today we're going to be talking about AireCon, which is a really exciting convention that takes place pretty much yearly. We ignore COVID and just skip that out. That I attended recently for the first time, and I feel like there were questions that I had that I wanted to answer and that I could do so in a video. So you're joining me on that journey today. Now, admittedly, this is a little bit later than I was hoping to pop out. I caught COVID, I got wiped out. However, I have some footage from the event that I can show you to give you a feel for what's going on and why AireCon is different to other shows. So, what is it? Now, this is a gaming convention, but it's a little bit different to ones you might expect. So our own show, which is Tabletop Gaming Live, happening in Manchester in September. You should definitely go, I'm so excited. As well as things like UK Games Expo and Essen, focus quite a lot on the retailers. So you'll have space to be able to go around and see these retailers and say to them, oh cool, what are you doing? Maybe I'm going to pick up a game from you. Oh, you've got something new, can I try and play that? Those sorts of things are what you expect to see at a standard board game convention. In addition to that, you'll have the ability to sit and play games with your friends. There's nearly always space marked out. I've already seen the space for Tabletop Gaming Live and it's going to be great. It's got such atmosphere. I'm really excited, by the by. But that's your usual setup. So you're looking at sort of 80 to 90% retailers and then 10 to 20% gamers. It's a very rough mix-up, but you see what I mean. Where the focus lies is generally quite consistent. Now, AireCon is different to this. So AireCon started out as a sort of friends gathering at a friend's house for a weekend and calling it AireCon. Now, they called it AireCon because Gen Con is so close to Lake Geneva and their closest was the River Aire. So they went with AireCon, which I think is just a delightful story in itself. And it's one of those really nice, really humble stories that it sort of grew each year. So first year it was just a couple of mates, second year more people, grabbed a venue, third year, oh actually there's quite a few people interested in this, a couple of people are travelling for it, let's go bigger, until it became sort of what it is today. And because it began just about games, it remains almost completely just about games. There are still stalls, there are still sort of bits and bobs there, so you can go and have a nosy round and chat to different people, which is nice. But we're not talking the same scale as the massive halls that you can expect to see at Tabletop Gaming Live or at UK Games Expo. Now, what that means instead is that space is almost completely dedicated to a ton of gaming spaces. It's just empty tables for you to be able to play. There's organised play where you can go and meet different people or try out new games. There's things that you can try. They've got little like flags that you can put on your table for people to be able to say, oh, I need one more person in this game. Would someone like to join me? And for them to be able to go, I'd quite like to join. And really that's the whole point of it. And people will travel far and wide with armsfuls of games to be able to try and play with new people or try out new games, and it's a really nice sort of community feel. And I think going back to that one after COVID is a huge palate cleanser. It's like, this is all the stuff that we love about board gaming that we're able to embrace in one space. Now, that sets it apart in itself. The other thing that I found set it apart was the food, which is something we've tried to really focus on at Tabletop Gaming Live as well, because it's something that I've been let down at previous conventions, and do you know what? Delightful, really, really great food trucks outside. Absolutely wonderful. Aside from that, which shouldn't be the main point of a board gaming day, but it does make it nice, is there things like they've got a bring and buy, but a really effective bring and buy, like it's done really, really beautifully, really, really well managed. A board game library, so you can pick up those games and play different ones, and just little pockets of cool stuff everywhere. And I think that's why I enjoyed it as much as I did, because you walk in, beautiful AireCon sign that I think is really cool, perfect for pictures. You've got your traders and sorts that you can have a sort of meander around, and then in the back corner, tons of tables, more tables to your left, full rows and rows and rows of tables. Now, we went on the Friday, which meant there were some sort of school kids there, which is a really nice logic as well, because kids have a day out as like a trip to be able to play games. And that's nice not only in a sense of it's a cool day out for them because they're getting to play games on school time, but also because board games can be educational and it's a nice way of linking sort of education and learning. And they had sections for that area of thing more specifically. Carry on through, you've got their little cafe, even even down to the fact that in the toilets there were free toiletries and things like that, and if you have any problems, go and ask for this. Really, really nice. Really, really considerate, and it feels sort of less corporate and more, here is something lovely that we're just a group of people that want to put on a good event, and that's really enjoyable. Carry on round, and there's like a sort of conservatory bit, which I loved because it's got all the lighting in it and it just feels a little bit like fresher. And they've got games that you can play, they've got different sort of sponsored tables, but it's still play your games, see what you think. Carry on further round because there's more. You've got sort of all sorts of seminar bits and bobs if there's things that you want to join in on, if you want to join in on games, if you want to hear from certain people, that's in an area. Carrying up, they've got, I think it was like a quiet gaming, I never quite worked out fully what it was, as like a, if you need somewhere to retreat then you can, which we know these things can get incredibly overwhelming and it's delightful. You've also got a huge quiet zone at the very back. You've got an RPG area. There's a lot, and it surprised me not just in how big it is, because it was bigger than I anticipated. I'd argue sort of bigger than Dragon Meat was. I think it's probably fair to say. It's a bit tricky because they're all laid out differently, so if you squish them all together, would they be the same? Who knows? But just the fact that it felt so personality-led the entire time, it doesn't give you the same vibe, and I think that's delightful, and that's why I think a lot of people will do AireCon and. So they'll do AireCon and Tabletop Gaming Live, AireCon and UK Games Expo, or the whole set if you want to, plus all the sort of cute ones in between, or the like war games, for example, your Salute, your Partisan, or whatever. You might also do that and AireCon, because AireCon feels refreshingly different from everything else. Do I have any complaints about it? No, I don't think so. It's based in Harrogate, which was sort of a nice day out. Never been to Harrogate before. Beautiful city, quite liked it. And of course, it's nice not just to be heading down to London for something, or to like your typical venues. It's possibly not the most exciting of venues, it's a hotel, but it doesn't need to be because it's all about the people that go. Now, I came away from that immediately wanting to book a weekend, a full weekend, for me and my board gaming group to go down and experience it in full, because this year we just went for the Friday, but it is one that I thoroughly enjoyed and would recommend. Now, if there are any questions that you have about it, anything that you want to know, please do pop them in the comments. I will try and find out an answer if I can't answer immediately, and I have hopefully by this point been interspersing some sort of footage of what I'm talking about as we go through, so there should in theory give you a glimpse of what's going on, who was there, what to expect, and sort of the general logic of how it works, which, as I've said before, is just really nice. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. I appreciate this being a quick and snappy one, but I hope it gives you more of an idea of why AireCon is such a vibrant one on the UK board gaming map. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.